Chair.
Senator Kamau.
I second.
Process Senator Korir seconds. Thank you very much. Governor, we go to the issue before us today. You know the cohesion before, and this cohesion committee is established under order number 218, standing order 1. And there was a motion by the Senate Majority Leader and Minority Leader.
Yes.
Oh, introduction, sorry.
Introduction.
Yes, let's yeah. Karibu.
Thank you, Chair. Today I'm in a different regalia. That's why you cannot just read my good friend Sakaja. James Omeneng, Senator Turkana County, member of this committee. And Chair, I want to put in record His Excellency Sakaja was the first person who gave me the ticket for DNA. So that's why I'm here.
In 2012. 2012.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Chair, Governor, and the team. Good morning. My name is Joseph Giduku Kamau, Senator for Lamu County, a member of this committee.
Good morning, Chair, honorable colleagues, Your Excellency and your team. My name is Senator Betty Montet, specially elected, a member of this committee. Chair and my colleagues, Your Excellency, I am Senator Beth Siango. I come from Kitui County, President. So broad-based by extension. It's Chair, honorable colleagues, Your Excellency, the Governor and your team. My name is Joyce Koril, the Vice Chair, Parliamentary Service Commission, and the Vice Chair to this committee. You're welcome.
Thank you, members. Good morning. My name is Mohammed Said Chote, Senator Marsabit, Chair of this committee. Let me ask my team also to introduce themselves.
Andrew Nyairo, Legal Counsel.
Habakuk Tian, clerk to the committee.
Lucian Limo, in charge. Purity Root for clerk.
Are we done? Governor Karibu Sana.
Oscar Lewis, legal intern.
So.
Alfred Makere, people.
Are we done now?
Beatrice Capey, legal counsel.
Thank you. Thank you. Governor Karibu, you can start introducing your team also, yourself and your team.
Thank you so much, Chairman, Honorable Senators, and the Secretariat of this committee. My name is Sakaja. I've asked my members to introduce themselves. I have the County Secretary and a number of CCs for now. Good morning, Your Excellency. And my name is Patria Kumali, the County Secretary.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, honorable members. My name is S.G. Mondi, the CEC in charge of Barrows, Administration, and Personnel.
My name is Janet Opiata, Chief Officer Public Service.
Morning, Chair.
And City County.
Good morning, Chairman, Honorable Senators. Morning, Your Excellency. My name is Charles.
Honorable members, Your Excellency, my name is Justin Muni, PA Governor.
Good morning, members and honorable members. My name is Elizabeth. I I represent the Nairobi County Public Service Board.
We done? Thank you very much. As I was saying earlier, this is a committee you know very well. I want to still go to the reason why we are here today. There was a motion by Senate Majority and Minority Leader on Wednesday, 24th July 2024. And the Senate resolved that we seek information on a number of issues, the issues which are in your folder. In a sitting of Thursday, 18th August 2024, this committee decided to call 47 governors. If you can take us through.
Thank you. Mnajua nawapenda sana. This committee has a lot of history. Just by way of introduction, I was the first chair of this committee in 20. Cohesion and equal opportunities. It was set up to have members of National Assembly and Senate. Back then, and you can imagine Honorable Kaiseri, the late Senator Obure, the late Senator, people my father's age, 15 members from National Assembly, 15 from Senate. But we achieved so much. We visited 34 counties to make sure there is peace. You can see then in Turkana South, Lokor Nakuse, we went to Mbinyang, we went to Baragoi, Nasola, Ward in Samburu North, where the MC there, I remember, was from Turkana descent in Samburu County. His name is Lawrence. And the former member of parliament of Samburu North, Bentoi Manga, was the vice chair of security, and the chair of security was one called Asman Kamama. But they were the biggest cause. Was to put this committee as one of the only committees that is mentioned in statute. In 2015, in the Public Procurement and Disposal Act amendments, when we introduced 30%, which was actually my bill, what we're discussing today, 30% for women, youth, and persons with disability, I put in an amendment to say that every year, 6 months, this committee must receive a report from every procuring entity on whether they've given preferences and reservations to young people, women, and persons with disability. And I put the committee's name by name, the committee in charge of equalization of opportunities. And so, Senator Chute, you're standing in a good place as chairing this committee. In the last term of parliament, this committee became inactive. I really pray that we can bring back the reason we had this, because in our country, we will never unite our country. You can never have cohesion without equalization of opportunities. Somebody born in Baringo, in Nanyuki, in Nairobi must know that their child has the same chance at life. The prerogative for equality of opportunities is so important. And once we have that, then no one will ever care who becomes president. Because they know whether my child is born in Lamu, or Nairobi, or Kisumu, they can have the same shot at life. They can be somebody. Because every Kenyan wants the same thing: to go about their lives peacefully, to make something out of themselves, and to guarantee their children a future. That is something I believe fundamentally. So I'm very honored and privileged to be here, personally. And allow me to go through my responses, Chair. The first question was on the demographic composition of the employees of Nairobi City County government in terms of gender, persons with disabilities, age, and ethnicity. The number of staff we have is 16,321. It's the biggest because we also have the biggest population. We serve 5 million Nairobians. Actually 7 million during the day and 5 million at night. The number changes at night. Of that number, men are a minority. 7,661 are male, 8,660 are female. I have put annexes where we have that breakdown in Annex A. So that is in terms of the total establishment. In terms of persons living with disability, we have 172 staff living with disability. Again, the female are more, 90 of them, and the male are 82, coming to 172. In terms of age, and I think this is a success story, before I became the governor of Nairobi, less than 10% were above 50 and retiring. But since we're able to hire our green, that demographic. And so we have 1 18-year-old, we have 3,419 and 29, we have 4,164 between 30 and 39, 3,265 are between 40 and 49, 5,398 are above 50, sorry, between 50 and 59, and above 60 is 74. What this means in terms of economic planning is then that in terms of pension, we really must prepare ourselves. The coming few years, we'll have a lot of retirement in the county government of Nairobi because they retire at 60. Those above 60 are mainly those who hold statutory positions like deputy governor or chairman of, those ones are allowed. They don't have to be below 60. The composition in terms of ethnicity, Nairobi is the most inclusive county. I know you've seen many reports from many counties where everyone is from a homogeneous community. Nairobi, we have 42 communities in the county government. In fact, something surprising I've just noticed, even here, everybody who introduces themselves is from a different community. The county secretary is from Western, the CC Barrows is from the mountain, which we are not touching. The chief officer is from Nyanza. We're massaging the mountain. The supply chain director of procurement is from Kisii. The CEC finance is from Bomet. Joyce? Mutiako. My PA is from Ukambani. Which county actually? Machakos. And me, I'm international. The public service board representative is from the mountain. You can see the mountain as true. Now, if you look at the composition, out of 16,321, the highest is the mountain, 6,173 from Kikuyu, 2,370 from Luo, Namlolwe, Kambas, 1954, Luyas, 1945. I'm sure you expected that number to be higher, but it is not. Yeah. Kisii 1360, Kalenjin 899, including Kerich and Tirop. Meru 469, Embu 221, Masai 144, Somali 123, Taita 101. The Somalis we need more actually because they're many in Nairobi. Mijikenda 76, Mbere 74, Kuria 59. I think I have more Kurias in my county than in Migori even.
Governor, don't go through all.
I don't need to go through all. Okay.
Yes.
In terms of the county executive committee, okay. 20. There are 20 Tarakas. Pokomo, Basuba, Burji, Gosha. They say something else. We'll work on it, Chairman. But even Hawaiian, James, Sakuye, everyone is in Nairobi. Normally, when you do this analysis, some don't wish to state their community for many reasons. For politics, I don't know. They don't say. But this is what we have in terms of our analysis. Now, at the top level of the governance of the city, you have the County Executive Committee and chief officers. We have 10 CEC members. I have 2 of them here. And we have 29 chief officers. I have 29 different subsectors. The total is 39. Of the 39, 26 are male, 13 are female. Meaning we actually subscribe to the 2/3 rule. Exactly. But I found the female are better than these guys.
And I would wish to have more. They serve very well. Next time it will be the other way around. Yes. The female are diligent and they're very good. In terms of personal disability, at the CEC and chief officers, we don't have anyone living with disability at that level. And this is also an example of where people don't declare it. Because from my view, when I see them, I know there are two. But if they don't say it, I can't force them to say it. But I know there are two of them. In terms of age, I have 30 to 39 years old, I have 15. I have the youngest cabinet in this country. I have the youngest CEC member, who is 30 now. I'm in charge of health, wellness and nutrition. Her name is Susan Silantoi. She became a CEC at age 29, and she's a Samburu. In terms of 40 to 49, 10, 50 to 59, 12, 60 and above, 2. We mix age because there's beauty in the wisdom of the older and the energy of the young. One of my CEC members who is here with me joined City Hall the day before I was born. In 1985. He joined on the 1st of February, I was born on the 2nd of February. And so I have that spread from him. He looks very young. You look very young. He is the encyclopedia of land in this country. He can tell you a large number without knowing your name. That's good. So from SG Mwangi, Kadhuita to Susan, who is now 30, that is a breadth and span. So we mix age, we mix community, we mix ethnicity. In terms of the CEC members and chief officers, we have 2 from Kalenjin, 3 Kamba, 15 Kikuyu, 3 Kisi, 5 Luya, 6 Luo, and the rest are 1 Murule, Meru, Ogaden, Samburu, and Somali. The third issue, Chairman, on the recruitment we've conducted in the last 3 years. In 2021-22 financial year, we recruited quite a number I've listed there. Constables, 498, early childhood, the biggest was ECD teachers. ECD is very important. And we did 498. In fact, this year we want to recruit more ECD teachers because we're building 1,500 classrooms across the city for ECD. Clerical, fire, disaster management, cooperatives, etc. They're there before you. And traffic marshals. But that time I was in the Senate, though I still take responsibility. Financial year 2023 is when we just got into office. We recruited more of the senior staff in terms of directors and deputy directors, assistant directors, as explained there. 41 traffic marshals. I think the largest component there at that time was culture and heritage assistant officers, job group H, 34 of them. And also county chief officers. That's when I got my chief officers. I did 27 at that point, and my CECs, and 1 chief of staff, and my advisors. Photographer, etc. It is there before you, Chairman. I'm told other counties brought the full list of IPPD payroll. I can provide, if you allow me, within the week on Monday. Janet Opiata can provide the actual payroll data. It is available. It's on IPPD. It's a system that is national.
That's good.
That's good.
You are going to give us when, madam? Can you go on record, please?
The chair will do that by Monday.
Thank you very much. Proceed.
Thank you, Madam Pierre. My team, I really looked for merit. Janet is one of the best in human resources. I am yes, I said no. You must stay very good professional. So questions of peers we can ask. This Mwangi is in terms of issues of built environment. I looked at merit. While the county secretary acting has been a public office at the national level, at the county, and I'm very blessed to have my team like this. Even Mogoko is a superstar in procurement. He can do it with his eyes closed. In supply chain management, Richard.
It's good.
Yeah. When you go to the which is has just ended through here. Now we say tulitoka tena kwa Dimanga, tunatoka kwa Mawe. We hired 3,500 young people to join what we call our Green Army. We had 1,499 constables who are about to do the class. Nairobi is a center of excellence for training, for compliance. We've trained Kiambu, we've trained Mombasa, and now we're getting even requests from East Africa to train them in our training school in Dagoretti. We also want to have the center of excellence for disaster. So the first batch was 1645.
We are on which page? Page 11?
Page 11, yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Proceed.
So the criteria applied in the selection of candidates, of course, there's professional and academic qualifications.
As indicated.
As indicated.
Good. Let's go to
affirmative action measures being implemented in promotion of women, youth, and persons with disabilities, as indicated in issue number 5, Chair. Any audit or assessment undertaken to ascertain inclusivity. We started with looking at our HR manuals to promote inclusivity, but not just to promote inclusivity, to also look at the wellness and welfare of my staff. I am putting together a wellness center in Parklands High Ridge, where the staff can, their mental health issues, they can have counseling, they have gym membership, they can have their, whatever treatment they require, and just to relax and play games and, talk to each other. It's the first county to set that up, because I take very seriously the mental health of my members of staff. Madam Opiata is in charge of that, and she's ensuring that we set that up. But we eliminate biases of, Nairobi is cosmopolitan. We have people from the whole country. 43 communities are represented in Nairobi. That's why we say those who try to put Nairobi in any tribal cocoon are on the wrong. We have everyone. In fact, I have failed because the last governor had even Asians, and I will bring Europeans. They are there in Nairobi, 3rd generation, 2nd generation, and so we don't have that issue. And we were rated the best in terms of inclusivity by the National Commission on Equality.
Chair, Governor, for your information, we have the report from NCIC here.
Yes.
You are number 4, Tana River number 3, Nairobi number 4.
It is not possible, Chair.
It is.
We need to.
Here's the report.
We will appeal. Because
Yes.
I listened for you.
You can only appeal
even
to
the
NCIC.
I will appeal.
Yes, also.
Thank you, Chair.
Okay.
I don't know if there's another question. There's a question on procurement. I've listed some of the interns for WDF, Ward Development, ward-based projects. But Chair, we will provide that full IPPD data as a great Madam. In terms of 30%, I feel like this is poetic, because when the law was done in 2015, I put it, the law I proposed, and I said procuring entities must come and report to the Senate. So I'm very happy to come. When young people, women, and persons with disability, 7 billion. The entities have been listed. And the one thing I would advise, sometimes you forget in the law, there's 2 different things. There's preferences and there's reservations. The only people who should apply for this is women or youth. And sometimes very low level procurement is given in terms of reservations. But when it comes to preferences, what it means is that when an entity is either youth, women, or PWD, in the scoring at the technical evaluation, you start them off with a preference in terms of a higher score. And so if a normal company scores 80% and a youth one scores 60, they are bumped up. Or a women one scores lower. That is what is called a preference. We put in that law because some people were very smart. You can be a governor or a PS or a CEO of an institution, and you register a company for your children, and you say it is youth, or your wife, or your girlfriend. So we said that the account, if you look at PPDA, section 53, 54, 55, we said the bank account to which you're paying to, the mandatory signatory must be verified to be that youth, or that woman, or that person living with disability. From there, if they get the money and give it to their sponsor, there's nothing else you can do. You know, you can take the cow to the river, but you cannot force it to drink. The reason we put this is because unless we empower our youth and women and persons living with disability economically, then we cannot empower them politically, we cannot empower them socially. The percentage of this needs to be measured on the procurable budgets. So, for instance, Nairobi budget is 42 billion shillings. But if you remove, you have to remove salaries because you're not procuring salaries. You have to remove pensions, personal emoluments, and then base your percentage of the 30% on what is in the procurement plan. And that is what I agreed with my supply chain director. So far we've done 1.37 billion. I would love to do more. But one thing I would urge you as a committee, when you deal with these procuring entities, ask them to do campaigns. We had set up a secretariat within the same law. The secretariat is at Treasury. I think that secretariat needs to be moved to the ministry in charge of youth so they can do campaigns. I once called a meeting at Nairobi Safari Club when I was the chairman of the Kenya Young Parliamentarians Association. I chaired that association for 10 years. I put an advertisement and said, any young person who wants to know how to procure, come. I booked a room for 300 people. 3,000 came. The 3,000 who came were not the ones you'd call for a political meeting. Very dignified young people in their suits with their folders. So many want to understand how to procure, but there's not enough training. And so with our Biashara Fund and as Nairobi County, we have signaled 85 officers in all the wards to look for these groups of women, of youth, to do activations, so that once we get the amount of money, 1.5 billion shillings that we've set aside, and it's an interesting fund, with 100 million shillings we're giving to the bank to cover interest and to cover the risk of the loan. The banks are giving us 1.5 billion that we're giving targeted women groups, youth groups, and PWD groups to do business. So we're not giving any company, we're giving those who know. In your market center, you know who are na kinyozi, who are na boda boda. We actually know target. That is what we're doing. So, Chair, I beg to submit. And once again, I am really honored and grateful for this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Governor Nairobi County, Governor Sakaja. Members, I think there is Senator Chimera who is online. Senator Chimera, can you kindly go on record?
Thank you, Chair. My name is Senator Chimera. I come from the great county of Kwale. We have the best beach in the world for information. I'm a member of this committee, Chair. Thank you for the opportunity. Chair, let me take this.
That is noted. Can you have a question to ask the Governor?
On the question on the bills, pending bills to payable to law firms. I just want to get his general comment on the same vis-a-vis the petition that is before us on the need to making sure counties do not hire external law firms in offering legal services. What is the government?
Senator, this is a question which is, unless the Governor wants to answer, the Governor can answer that question, but the Governor, this is not the question that we've asked you earlier, but you are free to answer if you are comfortable with that. Let me ask other senators to ask questions, note it down, and then once we finish with the Governor, Senator Mofaya, and another senator, then you can reply. You can answer the questions.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you very much. I want to congratulate the governor because it's very eloquent. Actually, he is the pioneer chair of this committee, and I have captured quite a number of history, maybe that this committee get to use for guidance. So, His Excellency, I would want to know whether you have any special program to achieve 5% rule on PWDs. And on top of that, have you, or are you liaising with the PWD Council, maybe in terms of when you are recruiting these PWDs? Do you have any arrangement with the PWD Council for that matter?
That's all. Thank you very much, Senator Lomanen.
Chair, I want to ask the staff establishment of how many do you propose according to the needs of the Nairobi County? Now I'll also ask your advisors because of the you also congratulate them.
Thank you very much, Senator Lomanen. Senator Kamau. Senator Montet.
Thank you. Mine is more of maybe an observation or maybe for the youth and the young people of this country. We are here today because the youth feel that we are not taking care of them, and a fund, I believe is a revolving fund. Maybe in the next set of documents, which I know Chair will ask for, you could also include all that, whatever you're doing for the youth and the women, even in pictorial to show that this is what and when you handle them and where, so that we can also help you amplify to the nation that the governor of Nairobi is doing this and this for the young people in this nation. And also, maybe I just want to know, what is your wage bill? If you have, you are keeping to the percentage approved.
Thank you very much, Senator Montet. Senator Kamau.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I want to from the governor to know from the governor why has he provided the breakdown of employees in terms of age, and considering the fact that we are here because of the problem that we got in this country. We wanted to know exactly has the county government of Nairobi considered the youth in terms of employment.
Okay, thank you. Any further question? I think let us allow the governor to answer those ones, and then we can again take the second round.
All right.
Governor, karibu.
Thank you so much, Senators Chimera, my good friend from, he says they have the best beaches. I can't argue because we have one in there. Senator Mufaya, I'll organize you to meet 20 Tarakas.
You are going to buy lunch.
And you must buy lunch. Because, you know, you see what we've done. Yes. You tell us how many challenges in Tarak and Luyas. Do you know, Chairman, in Tharaka-Nithi County, they did something amazing. In 2010, I was consulting for Parliament on delimitation of constituencies and boundaries. And they could not agree where to have the headquarter. Wale Chora Narula, the middle, a place called Kadhuana, is where they put the headquarter. And the biggest office that time was the TNA office, when I was chairman of TNA. Now, when I was chairman of TNA, it brings me to Lominen. He's the only person who came to my office based on his candor and brevity. I told him I will not take you through a nomination. I gave him a direct ticket. And he said he will bring that seat. And he's the only one who won from TNA, from that whole of North Rift. So I'm very proud of Senator Lominen. Senator Montet, thank you so much for your question as well. I will respond to it, and Senator Kamau. Now, Chimera's first question was on law firms. Yes, the bill is high. When I became governor, I found a pending bill of 21 billion shillings owed to law firms. A lot of them are decretable amounts. A lot of them have gone through the court process. And I said it is not sustainable to have that kind of a bill, because that is our entire equitable share of revenue. If I'm to pay 1 billion a year to lawyers, I'll pay it for 21 years. And so we've been negotiating. Because, you know, there are lawyers here. You cannot bill a county 1 billion shillings for thinking and arguing. You have not built anything. They will never bill a private company that amount of money. You never hear Safaricom paying a lawyer 1 billion or Coca-Cola. But in the past, it was an avenue through which executives would make money, because you pay them and you divide the money. And so we started a task force to review. It was led by Senior Counsel Kamudo Iganjo, and it had a number of lawyers. As we were doing it, the court ruled in Trans Nzoia that those task forces are not legal, but we got the recommendations. What we did then is we went to the SRC and asked the SRC to allow me to hire at a preferential rate 50 advocates with proper experience, who have had proper post-admission experience into the bar, to set up a proper county law office, like the state law office, so that we can reduce the amount of briefs that go externally, because many can be handled internally. SG will tell you a big percentage of the cases are to do with the land. I think maybe 60%, 80%.
When you combine land and
You can use your mic, because we want to hear your wisdom also. Yeah.
maybe between 60 and 80% when you combine land and planning issues.
And so,
problem with your
and Chair, so we're going to assign to every sector, the 10 CCs and their sectors, proper legal advice and lawyers to take them through contracting, through when you do land allocations, when you give out leases, to people, so that we don't have those cases. But we've told the lawyers to negotiate with us. So in the last 1 year, my county attorney and her team have reviewed and have brought it down to around 11 billion. We will bring it further down, but I have a plan on how to sort it out, because I found pending bills of 107 billion in Nairobi County. But God has been faithful. We have found that the national government owes us around 120 billion. So a lot of what is owed to us, to what we owe national institutions, we'll do a write-off. We're doing a debt swapping. And so it's possible by the end of this financial year for Nairobi to have 0 pending bills. That is my goal, so that fiscal management is prudent. The second question, and I want to thank Mheshimiwa Mufaya, special program for PWDs. Persons living with disability, we have worked with the council for PWDs in terms of recognition of those who live with disability, in terms of activation for them to know, because what happens many times is when someone is about to retire, they say they're a PWD, so that they added for years, and that is against the law. And so we're working with them. We really want to push the 5% in terms not just even of positions, but in terms of procurement as well. Many of them are doing desk work. Nairobi is a service county. You need people out there, sweeping, cleaning, And so some of those jobs cannot be done by persons living with disability. But in terms of office work, I have the only blind sub-county administrator in the country. Her name is what? Is it Florence or? Florence. Yeah, she's visually impaired. But she does an amazing job. And sometimes you find people living with disability, when one sense is impaired, the rest are hyper. So they feel more, they can sense, they hear, and the public really love her, So someone would say, why do you hire a blind sub-county? I don't know, Chafuaje. But let me tell you, her sub-county is one of the best performing. I would love you to, I wish I came with her. It will be amazing for you to meet her and the work that she's doing. So we would appreciate advice from the committee if there's more that we can do.
Governor, currently you are at 1%, 1 point, to be specific, 1.05.
1.05.
Yes, you are supposed to be at minimum of 5%.
Yeah.
But then you're supposed to do it gradually.
It's progressive.
Progressively, yes.
We will target in coming recruitments how we can have more, because they are, let me tell you, all of us are disabled. We are helped by the built environment. And let me explain it. When I was chair of cohesion and equal opportunities, we had moved the thinking of disability from a medical issue to a human rights issue. And the human rights was provision of facilities to facilitating, you know. If there were no stairs in this building, none of you would be here in this floor. We're only here because there's a staircase and there's a lift. Now, the other person who may not have legs needs a ramp additional. They only need something extra more than you. So you're not better than them. All of us have a limitation. Yeah? Sindio? So when I got into City Hall, I realized actually someone with disability cannot get to my office. It was not possible because it was just stairs. You know, it's an old building built in 1935. And that time it was the tallest building in East Africa because of the clock tower. But I had to make sure that we put in the lifts on the rear side of City Hall Annex. We make sure that there are ramps. These days when you do our pavements, and I'd love you to take a walk around town, we're doing what we call universal access. That the pavement on our walkways don't end abruptly. They have a gradual slope. So that a wheelchair you can be able to move on a wheelchair. At the intersections with the junctions, you put the dots. So if somebody has a white stick, they can feel that the road has ended over there. Kenya has the best standard that I would like this committee to adopt. It's an ISO certified standard by KEBS on building. It even says the width of the door of a bus, the width, how the toilet should be. We have the best standards of the built environment for persons with disability. And they had presented it to this committee in 2014. I would wish that you invite them to share that so that it can be implemented in the building code for all the counties. So when we build, we think about everyone. You know, 360.
Senator Sige,
yeah,
is handling that matter.
Oh, wonderful!
Because he has also a disability. I think it's with the committee, roads committee. Yes, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, but it's beyond just roads.
I know.
It is in all aspects. You know, and so the committee with the what we call primacy on that issue is your committee, because there are some about buildings, there's some about transport, there is some about media, about TV. At least we see they do the sign language. But why don't we have subtitles? In some countries, they made it mandatory. If there's any public service announcement and news, there must be subtitles. Because some where the sign language is different. You know, some just want to read what is put there. So, Chair, so Mheshimiwa Mofai, we will do more. Mheshimiwa Luminen, you've asked a very significant question. We have 16,000 staff serving 7 million people. The national government has around 400,000 staff serving 50 million people. We actually need more staff in Nairobi. When I became governor, I found that part of the reason why Nairobi has been dirty, and we are trying to sort it out progressively, was that the last time environmental staff were hired was in the 80s. And so you'd find a whole sub-county, like Embakasi East, I like that example, from Utawala, Donholm, Mihango, you go all the way to Lower Savannah, had 3 women, age 56, who are the sweepers. How do you expect the place to be clean? And so we hired young people, Green Army, who have done a good job. You'll find them sweeping, clearing the drainage. Now, the problem that was there was when counties don't receive money, like this financial year, we only got money last week for 1 month. Then the operation and maintenance. So we have the trucks, but they don't have fuel, you know. And so what they've collected will stay by the roadside, and the trucks cannot collect. What we're doing now, we're setting up Nairobi Solid Waste Management Company called Green Nairobi Limited, just like Nairobi Water, to ring fence all environmental money. When I was growing up in this city, just here in Ngara, in our water bill, there was a percentage for garbage when you pay water. And then every Tuesday and every Saturday, the truck would come and collect that garbage. That is what we're returning in Nairobi. I have bought 24 tippers, another energy project, but with China National Electric and Engineering, and they're giving us also 200 trucks. And so that now all of that domiciled under Green Nairobi Limited will make sure this is a cleaner city on the continent. And as we do that, we will employ more young people, and we can even look at those living with disability and women. So 16,321, but it's a service county. You need sweepers, you need doctors. Right now I need to hire 1,200 medical staff for Mama Margaret Uhuru Hospital. A hospital like Mama Lucy alone has 1,500 staff. That's Mama Lucy Hospital. Nurses, clinical officers, lab, doctors, specialists, oncologists. We have now the first cancer center. Yeah, we have the first eye hospital in this country. There's no public eye hospital in Kenya, but Umoja too, you have it. So we actually need more staff to do it.
Yeah, through the chair, Your Excellency, the question was very specific, based on the organogram of the county. How many staff are you supposed to have? Yeah, you have the 16,000.
Yeah.
What was
based on the establishment?
The proposed? Yeah.
I'll ask.
Of HR person is here?
No, you can, excuse me, don't shout from there. What you can do is go to the nearest microphone and speak. You are free to speak. This is a committee who listens to people.
The establishment.
Sorry, Chairman. The establishment has 23,000.
Exactly.
There's 23, but we only have 16. But what we're doing is improving our revenue. This last financial year, we've raised the highest amount in the history of devolution, 12.8 billion. You know, I saw my colleagues wametusumbua sana kwa WhatsApp group na 1 billion. On a poster and the stars saying they've collected a B. We've done 12.8 billion. And this financial year, we're doing 12.8 billion in collections.
Maybe as you respond to that, you can also give us the figures of 2022, 2023, 2023, 2024. The
revenue.
Collection, yeah?
Yes.
And whether you've automated the same.
100%. We did 12.8 billion, 23, 24. The year before that, Charles Kerich, use the mic.
The year before that, Chair, we did 10.6 billion, and the previous year was 9.8. So there's a trajectory upward, and of course, previously now there was the issues of COVID, where the revenue had gone down to.
You are also still there that time, right? All the years you are there. You are with Sonko. You are with Sonko
in various dockets, Chair.
Not finance.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Yeah, so we improved from 8 to 9 billion to 10.6 to 12 billion. We fully automated all the revenue streams in Nairobi. All. You cannot pay anything in cash in Nairobi. I even closed the cash office. You pay through *647# and our website. Now, this is the clincher. Our biggest revenue source is land rates. We have done the 2019 valuation rule. Most counties are in 80s. We did it to set up the valuation court. But you can imagine, we have only 175,000 parcels in Nairobi that we see. Of the 175,000 parcels, there are only 30,000 accounts. And so we're doing collection now. But the Ministry of Lands has 350,000 accounts in terms of parcels. So what we've done with them is to create what we call an API between our system and Ardhi Sasa. When I say this year we'll hit 20 billion, we will surpass it. Everybody, if they carry their weight, and we've said you can pay your rates monthly. It doesn't have to be one sum. So if they have agreed to pay the Krima family, and I told them, before I give you a subdivision, you must pay regularization to the county. I mean it. We're going to hit 20 billion in the 4th month of the financial year. Yes. And our biggest revenue month is January. Before in Nairobi, you would have to go to different offices to get a license. There would be more than 6 licenses. Food and hygiene, pest control, If you go to someone's office, you would not know the color of the wall because licenses are all over. Come to City Hall, oh, this one go to Tomboya Fire Station or go to advertising. Now it is one license. We have a revamped customer service center. The County Government Act asks all counties to have that. We're happy to have the first one. Please, I would welcome you to come and see it. You would think you're in Barclays Bank or Equity. Everyone is served. Before, this staff used to work in silos. The person doing rates would not know how to bill for advertising. The person doing advertising would not know how to deal with public health. Today, they can serve any issue, including inoculation. And so I think it's a case of how to deal with our customers. I told them the first principle we must have is customer excellence, to be obsessed with the customer, and the customer is the citizen of Nairobi. So we made progress there. Senator Montet, I think yours was on the wage bill. Currently, our wage bill is 18 billion shillings. 18 billion annually. Meaning all the money that we get from the Senate is just salaries. Everything else you see happening in Nairobi is our own source revenue. What we get from equitable share just covers the salaries. When you see a road done, I've done more than 75 projects in the wards. I have built more than 17 kitchens in Nairobi County. We're feeding 310,000 children every day at 5 shillings. They all wear this watch. Tap to it. 310,000 children at 5 shillings. That is our own source revenue. 25%, sorry? 17. We built 310,000 children. The 17 kitchens are in every constituency. The initial ones were a capacity of 10 to 15,000 meals. These new ones, the last 7 I've done, do up to 20,000. Primary schools. Attendance is 100%. During school days, you don't see street children. They're all in school. And so now we want to step it down to move it now to the informal schools. Because we have many schools that are not public, but they're not also academies. They're not the posh schools, in the informal settlements. Because from 1992, this county faced a lot of dereliction. When multipartyism came and Kanu lost control of the capital, no school was built. Water was an issue. And so all of that is from own source revenue. That's why when I say I need to do 20 billion, Nairobians understand why we need that 20 billion and 25, and we will do it. Tunasema Nairobi lazima iwork. The age breakdown that you've asked for, Senator Kamau.
Did you ask about HR manual?
He moved very fast. I wanted to ask when you were talking about it. I wanted to ask whether you have an updated HR manual.
Opiata?
That one can be answered by yes, please.
Is the Undo Gwiji HR Kenya?
Thank you, Chair. We have an HR manual that is being reviewed now. It is with the board. I think they're just remaining with one step.
Was it last reviewed? Whatever you are using?
Sorry. The one we are using, by the time I joined the county, that is what they were using. So right now it is being reviewed by the board and a team from HR. So we will be able to, in fact, in the next meeting, if there is any, we will be able to surrender it.
Oh, you can, okay. Once you are done with it, you can send it to us.
Okay, we will do that. Thank you.
There's one thing that I would really urge you also to focus on. I was also the chair of Labour in the last Senate. Counties are not supposed to be ethnic Balkans. There are certain skills that you can't have in all the counties. You can't have 47 neurosurgeons or certain, rheumatoid. There are certain skills that are very rare. What we wanted to do that time was to create a like a PSC, so that you can do inter-county transfers. If you're hired in Wajir, you can work in Kisumu. If you're hired in Mombasa, you can also...
One of the governors here that it is within the of governors to come up with that, because if you wait for the...
We're having our election for Council of Governors.
And that is what Senator Chimera has been always asking.
I have not presented anything, but I think maybe I should go for it. What do you think? Anyway,
Governor, proceed.
So we need that in the county. Sorry. Now, finally, we have also entities in the city that we have city companies. We have Nairobi Water and Sewerage Company, providing a wonderful service. We've also done serious board. The board chair of Nairobi Water is a youth. Anul Karanja is below 35. And he has pushed them to drive collections from 8 billion to 10.8 billion shillings in terms of billing and collections. I'm very happy today as we speak. We have a milestone where I'm going to after this. Nairobi has had a water shortage for a long time. We receive 525 million liters of water, but the demand is 900 million liters daily. There were projects that were stalled in water, Northern Collector from Muranga. I've been able to work with the president to pay those on the oil lifts. Today we are connecting the final bit of it from Kigoro and Gigiri to get an additional 140 million liters daily from today. So the areas that have never received money since God made Nairobi, and they've not received water since God made Nairobi, from today they'll start receiving water.
Where is that?
So areas like Karen, like Ruta, Ngando, some parts of Eastlands like Mihangu, Utawala, will start getting water. They've never gotten it, but they've had the pipes. We'll test it for 2-3 weeks because I want to get the president's diary for him to also join us as we launch. And that's just 140 million liters. What we've been able to do also is to get support from our partners in Korea. Unfortunately, counties can't borrow directly. So the treasury is holding us back a bit, but we've gotten $100 million to do Maragua 4 and Northern Collector 2. Northern Collector 2 and Maragua 4 will add 220 million liters additionally to Nairobi. Then our engineers, I always encourage my staff. That's why I speak highly about them, because when you encourage them and you create that environment, they deliver. My engineers in Nairobi Water discovered that in Ngevu treatment plant, we lose 30 million liters of water through what we call the backwash system as we filter it. They have done a reverse system that now that 30 million liters will be coming into the grid. That is half of Sasuma. Sasuma Dam in Narok gives us 60 million liters. So in the next 3 years, if you support me, senators, the story of water shortage in Nairobi will be in history books. We'll be able to deliver. And that is the essence of devolution. Senator Kamau, I broke down the age in the response. If you look at 1C, those age.
Thank you, Governor. I've seen, I've noted. But, Chair, if you allow me, maybe as a rejoinder of the same.
Let him finish first.
No, it's the same. He has. Okay.
I want to finish because of time.
Yeah, sorry, I was just responding that we've done the breakdown of age. When we send the IPPB data, you'll have the specifics of everybody. The programs for our young people. Government can't employ all our young people. I mean, we're trying, we are doing climate works. We said we launched in Nairobi, in Korogosho. There were 20,000 slots. In 24 hours, 195,000 youth applied. That is a very sad situation. 195,000 applied. In the first hour, I saw a video moving, people saying the youth said, I want to see more, we will not apply. In the first hour, 65,000 applied. And so, the biggest threat to our country is not terrorism. It is not Al-Shabaab. It is millions of disengaged, disillusioned young people who have studied, they have certification, they have education, but they're at home. And when they sit at home, they see us passing with guzzlers, they see stories of corruption, they see stories of malfeasance, yet they're home and they have studied. That is what we must address. How do you create opportunities? Through creating an enabling environment for the private sector. Government is not supposed to hire everyone. In fact, if you look at the US now, the debate between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump, it's about big government or small government. When government enables private sector, that's why we're doing our Biashara Fund. That's why we are reducing the license to 1. You know, when we enable the private sector to hire and to employ and to industrialize, that is when you will sort out. So it's a macroeconomic issue. Counties are limited in terms of what we can do. I'm glad I asked the president, we must move this number. So we're getting the first 20,000 youth coming on board. Then an additional 10,000 will come and join our Green Army in cleaning the city. The 20,000 will work on our rivers, Nairobi River, Madare River, and Ngong River, to create a river corridor that even can be used for transit. As I conclude, you can imagine from First Avenue Eastleigh to Westlands is less than 10 kilometers along the river. From Chiromo to Naivasha Avenue, Naivasha Road in Dagoretti South is 10.6 kilometers. If you create a walkway and a greenway with cycle paths that people can actually walk, many people walk to work along our rivers, you will change the city. Nairobi is the only city in the world where the rivers are hidden. You have traveled elsewhere, the river is the frontage of the city. You have restaurants along the river, you have even the Westminster is on the River Thames, if you look at the Danube. But Nairobi, despite it being named after a river, and carry Nairobi, the reason why they did that was the colonialists. If you look at the 1948 master plan of the city, wanted a buffer between them and the poor people. So they took the higher areas of the city, the Mudaigas, the Hurlinghams, the Upper Hill, and created a buffer and a green zone which became slums. That is why when it floods, who is affected? Kibera, Mukuru Kwanjenga, Madare, it is the slums. So we want to invert that and change the narrative of Nairobi so that my Maasai ancestors can rejoice again that Nkari Nairobi is back. Chairman, I submit. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next set of questions, Senator Beth Siembo.
Thank you, Chair. I think majority of the questions have been asked, but allow me to refer His Excellency to page 2,
yes.
And that is on the table part C. The one on part C.
Okay, yes.
The demographic composition of our employees. I have two questions there. One is looking at 50 to 59. There are 5,398.
Yes.
Your Excellency, do you have succession plan and a good elaborate one on how to handle that? Then the second question on the same is on 60 and above, there are 74. The question is, are they on contract? If yes, how long is the contract? Then the next question is on page 4. We have number 3 on part D, demographic composition of county executive committee members. Number 3, we have Kikuyus, the Murima, that we are Tungusi.
Don't touch it, please.
15. How many are county executive committee members?
In terms of?
Because it's just lumped together, 15 Kikuyus. Are they, because it's indicating that county executive committee members.
I can see.
So the 15 of them, are they all CEC members? Yeah, for now I submit.
Thank you.
Hey, Governor.
Field person, and that is why he's director procurement is acting. I want to know how long have they been in office. Secondly, Your Excellency, the Article 54 of that on all the appointments that are being made, we have to include the person living with disability. And based on the report that you've given, it shows that we have zero people living with disabilities. Can you really enlighten, especially the Section 35 states that the Assembly are supposed to approve that you submit with the names of people living with disability. Your Excellency, can you tell us? Don't have a person living with disability on that side, though you also have at least percentage. A number of counties are below 1% in terms of persons living with disability. In the law states that we have to have 5% and above. But I want to say, Your Excellency, that though we are doing it progressively, but in terms of the appointees, you don't have person living with disability.
In terms of CCs.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think I'm done. I also wanted to congratulate the governor on the issue of the gender, which is giving us a total number of 8,660. That is a good progress. I know the women president has been keen on that, and we also been keen on that because that is an issue that is affecting a number of counties. And I want to say for Nairobi County, I must congratulate you for that.
Thank you very much, Madam Vice Chair. Governor Nairobi County, I want to refer you to the AGBO you presented before this committee today. If you look at 2023-24, you had a budget for capital projects amounting to 12 billion. And another 666 billion. That makes a total of 12.7 billion. Out of those, 30%, like you said or indicated, is supposed to be 3.8 billion. And then you've reserved, what you've reserved is supposed to be 3.8 billion, but you've consumed 1.3 billion. And in a rejoinder, you said, it is important to note that AGBO Group participated in other projects meeting the target of 30%. I think the finance person is here. I think he was trying to play around with the figures. How can you say you've set aside 3.8 billion again, and then you tell us you've given out 1.3 billion? Then it is 30%. How can you work out this way? Even Stanley, one boy can tell you these are wrong figures. Can you explain to us? If it is not met, you've not met 30%, just say what you've done. It is less than 30%. Let me ask our clerks to work on 1.3 billion or 3.8 billion. While they are working on that one, you can answer these other questions.
Thank you. Thank you. And the clarification that I was giving on that was that what you should look at in terms of the budget, the mistake they made on the 12 billion. Okay, actually, this is proper. The earlier response was looking at the entire budget of 42 billion. But I think this is proper now. It's been amended. I asked them yesterday to look at it.
Everyone, let them work on it first. You answer these other questions because there is an issue.
Yeah, they can look at it. I suspect it is 46%. I'm a mathematician. Now, to Senator Beth, President of Women in ODM and in Norway in broad-based government, where we're very happy. The 5,398 are above 60. 50. Those are people who got hired in Nairobi, hired in the 80s and early 90s. We have a succession plan. We also have what we call voluntary early retirement that we're working on VER. So those who agree to leave at this point are given what we call a golden handshake, so that we can have a younger, more vibrant workforce. So we're working on voluntary early retirement, and we agree to take it up so that they can pursue other things and invest in business we were looking for more support. In 2011, before devolution, the World Bank had actually offered to do it for Nairobi. That time it was mayors. They didn't take it up. I picked it up with the last country director, Dr. Keith. Unfortunately, he's been moved. There's a new country director who I will also visit, called, I think, Leah. I'll visit to pick it up. It's the best thing. You know, you want a staff that can operate. If you have like 5 old men sweeping, they will not. You know, and so they end up not doing work, and Nairobians want to be served. And Nairobians are very, they get dissatisfied very easily, let me put it that way. Your street can be clean every day, and you keep quiet. But the day you see garbage like this, you say, I work, the governor is not working. And so we must keep servicing the county. So, those who are 60 and above that you've raised are the persons with disability, mainly, because they're given an extension for a few years. So the 74, you have only persons with disability, some on contract, like I've explained, and now the staff like this guy, who are political appointees, so CECs, my deputy governor, who else, SG? You guys should know each other, Yusufia. Nani mwingine? There's one in the board.
Excuse me, Governor.
Yeah.
We can give you time by next week. Tuesday, Wednesday.
Do you want the names of the people? About 60. The 74 of them?
Yes.
Yeah, we can give you that. Okay, we can give you that. Okay. But majority, you know what the law states, that the retirement age for persons with disability is not 60.
65. It's 65.
Yeah. That's why there's no one 70 and above. It's just 60. They're not 65. And let me tell you, these people who are above 60, many of them will give you such wisdom in terms of what has been tried and has not worked. And that's why I say you must always balance the energy of youth.
Governor, you're on national television. The Gen Z says.
No, it's okay. They must hear it. You know? They must hear it. That's why you balance. That's why I have the oldest CC and the youngest CC. Those who, let me tell you, wisdom is perspective. Perspective is bigger than vision. Vision just looks ahead. But perspective looks behind, appreciates where you are, and looks ahead. There's nothing new under the sun. And so you must always mix the wisdom of those who've been there with the energy of the young people. That's how you get it right. And so I really appreciate. SG is probably one of my best CCs. You know, he has saved our county so much money by wisdom, by telling us, no, this land had this problem in 1995. We've saved so many costs because of Laguita here. So, I mean, I could have put a 19-year-old to be in charge of land in Nairobi. Our wage bill in terms of court cases would be hundreds of billions.
Is he engineer by profession?
No, he's a land surveyor. Yeah. So
you have your grandson who is graduated also, isn't it? Land surveying. On land surveying, right? Grandson or granddaughter?
Oh.
My daughter is aware.
Sasa unakataa wasiende huko ndio ukae pale.
Oh, no.
But you know, Chair, I would want to agree with the governor because.
No, that was just.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Remember, Article 27 of the Constitution says we don't discriminate by age. There's something called reverse discrimination. Reverse discrimination then is also saying we don't want old people. We have young people. I love the young people. I'm the youngest, probably the third youngest governor. Governor of Nandi is younger than me, and Governor of Elgeyo Marakwet. I think I'm the third youngest. So we have such a young governor, and my CEC committee in average is the youngest, but we also draw wisdom from those who are older than us. And remember, as I conclude on the age, at age 24, I wrote Article 89 of our Constitution when I was 24 years old, on the limitation. I was a consultant to Parliament. At age 27, I was chairman of the ruling party of Kenya, TNA, when I was 27 years old. At age 28, I was a member of Parliament. At age 32, I was senator. I've become governor. I'm not even 40 years old yet. I'll complete my second term at age 47, and county is 47. and you never know what else after that. The world is your oyster. And so we love the energy of young people, but I will tell young people, always respect the wisdom of the old. It is a balance. Senator, Vice Chair, and also Commissioner, I'm very happy because as Commissioner of PSC, you understand a lot of HR issues. They're not always that straightforward.
Chair, sorry, allow me to interrupt His Excellency. On the 15, on page 4,
yeah.
You have not touched on that.
Oh, okay. The 15, you know, I don't want to speak about one community only because we were advised not to touch. But let me break it down. At CCM level, at the CCM level where it is the Waziris, there is one Kalenjin, there is one Kamba, there is one Luo, there are 2 Luyas, there's 4 Kikuyus, and there's 1 Samburu. And then there's a governor and a deputy, who we say we are Kenyans. That is how it is broken down. The rest are at the chief officer level, where we have almost all communities. We have Kikuyus, Luos, Luyas, we have Somalis, we have everyone at the chief officer level. And really that one, you know, you base it on merit and on what they can deliver. So I will challenge the NCIC. We're the most balanced county. The only other Samburu CECs are in Samburu County and Nairobi. And that is the lady who's in charge of my health, 124 hospital, 30-year-old in charge of school feeding. She's on feeding 310,000 children daily from Samburu County, but grew up in Nairobi. On the issue of CCs and COs, I think that is covered, unless we can still give.
That's covered. That's covered. You can go to the Vice Chair.
Madam Joyce, Vice Chair PSC. Thank you for acknowledging Charles Kerich. Charles Kerich is my strongest pillar in the county of Nairobi in terms of the executive. He is my advisor. He's a CEC. He's been there before. I consult him daily. He's in charge of finance. And let me tell you, what changes many times is the leadership. You can have the same person, ni kama gari, you know, you can't say this car is fast. It's the driver who drives the vehicle. Charles is doing more than he did before with the former governor. Is that true? Yeah, there's no other way to answer, you know. and that is why now he has been able to deliver 12.8 billion in revenue and is going to do 20 billion. My staff, especially at chief officer and CEC level, are not employees. They're teammates. They work 24/7. You can see my staff, my chief officer for environment, closing noisy clubs, dealing with people who are urinating on road. He does it 24 hours. These people wanajituma because as a leader, your first job is to paint a picture of the vision of what you want and get disciples. Jesus started with just 12. Today, many of us are Christians, you know. And so these people, I see them as gladiators and warriors who support me. On the issue of acting, they are little Sakajas. And I wish them the best. And that's why you don't even see conflict between myself, my deputy governor, you know, because everyone knows their work, everyone is doing their work and sticking to their role, you know. And he was with you guys in Lamu the other day when he came for the funeral of the deputy governor of Lamu. And again, condolences, Senator. Yes, the procurement director is acting, and many others have been acting. When I came into City Hall, I asked them, is this Hollywood? Everyone is acting. It's like a movie. You know, everyone is an actor. And it's because before then, because of job security and being insecure about people, no one wanted to be confirmed. And they're not confirming people. The county public service board is the employer. The governor doesn't employ. They have all the requests for confirmation. They've been able to confirm quite a number of directors in different dockets. They're doing it docket sector by sector. So for instance, in ICT, they have confirmed all the directors. They have come to built environment. Mobility, they've confirmed the directors of roads, of transport, etc. So they're moving sector by sector.
Governor, when do you expect these other actors to be confirmed?
As, for me, if I was to do it, I'd do it today. But I can't commit a date because it's the Public Service Board, which is semi-autonomous. But the representative of the Public Service Board can tell us when they'll be done. I really want them to finish.
Can you kindly tell us, please?
Morakisha Yukitu.
Where is that person? He's not here. Oh, okay.
So thank you, Chair. When we receive the request from the sector for confirmation, then we proceed and do the confirmation.
So you are receiving it from where?
Sorry?
You are receiving it from where?
We receive from the sector. They come in different batches. Okay. So as soon as we receive, the board confirms.
Chair, this was specific.
No,
as about this was who are here.
They have those requests with them. The county secretary who is here sends them. They have the request. I want them to fast track it.
Also, go to now the next question.
The next question. The county secretary, he was also active only recently. Before it was Patrick Analo. You know, the county secretary must be approved in the county assembly. I had sent the name of one Jarius Musumba to the assembly. He had historical issues with the MCS. They rejected him. So once they rejected, you start again from scratch. And you must do a process using a firm to advertise for the position of county secretary, which we're going to do. We want somebody to sit on that position properly. And it will be open to all Kenyans to apply for that position. Article 54 of the County Government Act, and the Constitution, Senator Joyce, you're right. In the position of chief officers and CECs, again I say, I don't know how to put it. I know there are some who are living with disability, but they don't declare it. But, you know, it's a personal thing. Maybe somebody might be embarrassed or might not want to declare it. In the Waziris, I don't have one because it's just 10 positions. And I don't want to make anyone get disabled or anything. But the team I have has really been delivering. So please allow me just to keep the 10. I don't want to change any of them. In chief officers, I do have, but as I'm saying,
Your Excellency, I know it's not your making. You are supposed to just produce a list. The people who are supposed to guide you and to assist you in terms of adhering to the law is the assembly.
Yeah.
So in one way, I would lay the blame on the assembly because we are not saying that anybody should be a disabled or we can, and then we are not also saying that we have to force them. I think what makes us to believe that a certain person is a disabled is once they are registered with within the name. So
you know, someone can be disabled and you can see it, but they're in denial and they don't want to have that.
Meaning he's not disabled because he has not registered.
Yeah.
So proceed, Governor.
Chair,
then we have a finance person.
Yeah.
Procurement. Yes. Your director is there, acting director.
Richard.
Yes.
Richard Mogoko. And superstar on procurement. And I must say, he is the first county to go fully on e-procurement. There is no physical LPO in Nairobi. Everything is digitized e-procurement because of him, meaning he has many enemies in town. Those who used to do fake LPOs in River Road. Richard.
Yes, thank you, Chair. Chair, we provided this report based on capital projects for the financial year 2023-2024. The amount given for capital projects is 12.062. Then for RMF,
sorry,
12 billion 062 161 128.
Okay.
Then for RMF, that is Road Maintenance Fund, is 667 491 356. And I confirm that we have attained the 30% We have attained the 30% share because when we do the advertisement, we specify this is for the reserved cadre, this is for youths.
Bwana Director, right?
Yeah.
Bwana Director, these documents are your documents.
Yes.
They are not mine. They are not this committee's documents.
Yes.
They are yours. And you have a total of 12.7 billion. Let's start from there.
Yeah.
And then 12.7 billion, 30% is 3.8 billion.
Yeah.
Right?
The figure is here 3.5, yeah.
Sorry?
The 3.8.
It's there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, but the award was 1.3 billion, according to your documents.
Now, that's what I was explaining, Chair.
Yes.
When we do the advertisement, there are those projects where we reserve for women, for the PWC, and the youth. And now the scenario here, there are those who register as AGBO. One individual has 5 companies. 3 are under AGBO, and 2 are in the general category. So they would apply in the reserved area.
Bwana Director, then is it my responsibility to do these documents? It was your responsibility. The total is 1.371. These are your documents. 1.3 billion is what you gave us. This is what you gave us. You are supposed to give us plus those ones also.
Plus those ones. So I will do it by Monday, Chair. By Monday, Chair.
Sindio? Yes, that's what I'm trying to get out of you. I wish the governor anakuona tu anasema unakosea. I know.
Okay, Chair.
Yes, vile umesifio.
By Monday,
so basically what I'm saying, give us the rest also so that you can get up to 3.8 billion. That is 30%. And this is his baby.
Yes.
You've heard him saying.
Yes, Chair.
The governor said 30% was his proposal to the Senate. And now you're letting him down. Yours is at 10.78. What you've given us, the 1.3 billion, is 10.78. And
Chair, I think from his explanation, he's got the figures. Let's give him time so that at least he can put them together, and by next week he brings the whole figure of 30%.
That's what I'm trying to say. So the document we have here.
Yeah, you have stated here.
Yes.
You have stated so well that.
Chair, I want to assure you, we're the best performing on AGBO. These people know that's my baby. Yeah. I drove that thing like crazy to make sure young people get a chance. So let him just put the documentation better in terms of what the 1.37 relates to, and even our other entities. We actually
Governor,
the best.
Look at the names.
Yeah.
You mentioned 125 companies.
Yeah.
Did 1.3 billion.
Yes.
So it's supposed to be more than 125, right, my friend? So give us those ones, the company names, and then 3.8 billion.
Okay.
We'll give you a week to respond. Thank you, Chair.
I'll do, Chair.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency the Governor.
I'm grateful.
Members?
Yeah, I think, Chair, we have deliberated on a number of issues which are affecting the Nairobi County. Your Excellency, we want to just thank you and.
Before 1 minute, I forgot something, Governor. A very important one. You've mentioned something very important. Biashara Fund.
Yes.
I don't know if you've put 1.5 billion or you want to put 1.5 billion. Yes. We have Nawiri Fund. Nawiri Fund. This is from the Governor of Trans Nzoia. He had put about 100 million, and it's a revolving fund. If you have an LCO, or LPO, or an LSO, you go through that fund, borrow money, and when payment comes, it goes through the same fund. So, can you tell us, this Biashara Fund, is it doing the same formula or system?
You see, thank you, Chair. I'll sit down with my colleague from Trans Nzoia and tell him how that 100 million can become 1.5 billion. Because what I've put is also 100. Banks, the work of banks is to give loans. But banks give loans based on risk and interest. So the 100 million that I passed in my assembly is interest and risk. From that 100 million, KCB is giving us 1.5 billion. So it's 1.5 billion that's available,
but the taxpayer money is 100 million. So I will tell him, because that's also my village is Kitale. So you know, now he's been doing Tawe so much, he's forgetting some, but he's a brilliant guy. He's my good friend.
But, his documents were very good.
Wonderful.
And presentation was as good as yours. Now,
people from Kitale are like that.
Yes. Yeah. So if you have your final comments.
Yeah, thank you,
please.
Chair.
Everybody under 1 minute.
Yeah.
Please.
I really want to appreciate His Excellency and his team. They are doing a fantastic job. I can see he has a vision. Please keep focused. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. But please, before I appreciate the governor, because in a summary he's done it very well. Please let me just ask this. I don't know where we went wrong as a people of Nairobi, because I'm sure you've been to Rwanda, and all these people have been to Rwanda, and Rwanda is looking clean and beautiful and nice. Is it that we are a punitive country that people decide to just go against what regulations are put? Is it that we don't educate our people? Where did we lose it, and where did we go wrong?
Let me
You can answer
very quickly.
Yes, please. Under 1 minute.
First of all, you know,
I'll give you time to. Okay. Okay.
I think, His Excellency, please, I think you should sacrifice your political patience and green Nairobi. Forget about what people say about you, saying and all these things. Just say you want term governor, and then you put systems in place.
I agree.
Yeah. And this country is going to remember you. You know, there's a lot of mess in this country. I mean,
you see, just the other week, Chairman, the other week, we were relocating traders who are on the road in Marikiti, women who sit on the carriageway, trucks that are in the middle of the median. You saw the political interference that was probed. I said, no matter what political interference, go there today. They're not there. Yeah. We were relocating matatus here, and they had agreed. The long distance matatu going to Trans Nzoia, to Kisii, that use Wayaki way, to just come straight all the way to Green Park. You saw the political interference. What we've said is, for us to make Nairobi what it must be, we will not pander to political whims. We will do the hard thing, the right way. That is how we will have a clean city. So apart from the issue that I explained to you, on because clean city is three things. One is manpower, two is equipment, three is operation and maintenance. You must have fuel, you must have all that. When exchequer doesn't come, everything we collect in Nairobi goes to paying salaries. So now when we ring fence that under the Green Nairobi Limited Company, that will have, it is on the water bill, just 10% will go to garbage. So they'll have the operational amounts. The 3,500 youth who are here, who we've employed, will go to Green Nairobi Limited. The 10,000 we're getting in climate works will also go there. And the 200 trucks we're getting because of waste to energy, we're going to produce 45 megawatts of power in Dandora. Dandora, which was always a negative story, will add power to our grid. We've already signed with China National Electric and Engineering Company. Last week I was with Opio Wandai, the CS for Energy, and Kipto of EPRA, to agree on the power purchase agreement of the tariff of how much we'll sell the power to Kenya Power. That power can light the whole of Nairobi from our garbage. The company doing it are the same ones who've done Addis Ababa. So yes, I know Rwanda. Though Nairobi is bigger, you know, the GDP of Nairobi is $28 billion. The GDP of Rwanda as a country is $11 billion. We're times three. Kigali is like Westlands. However, the quality of life that our people require is the same. So we'll forget about the politics can't stay. We will do what we must do, and I assure you, by the time the politics comes, people will say, no, this is the guy.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Senator Kamau, Senator Longren, under 1 minute, please.
Thank you very much, Chair. I want to congratulate the governor for the good work that he is doing to the people of Nairobi and Kenya at large, because actually Nairobi is like Kenya.
Thank you.
Finally, Chair, despite the challenges that are in Nairobi, the governor is doing a very good job. We are behind you. We will support you.
Thank you very much, Senator Longren.
And sorry, Chair, when I was chair of this committee, I visited Mpeketoni Lamu, and he was an MCA, and now he is the senator. You know, and you remember what had happened there was terrible. We lost so many lives. And I was with your colleagues, Monica, now she's a women rep, isn't it? Oh, but is she the women rep? She was an MC at that time. There was Jomo Kenyatta. person with disability, please pass our regards to all of them. And I'll be happy to come back.
Senator Lomani.
I wish my friend Solomonic wisdom so that he gets to another level.
Which level is that?
Thank you.
Thank you. You know, another level is down there. I hope it's not that one. Okay, Madam Vice Chair.
I don't think I have much, Chair. I just want to say thank you so much, Your Excellency. A number of issues has been raised. You've also explained a number of things that I felt Nairobi will never remain the same. That is our feeling that we have water in Nairobi. We can handle the issues of too much traffic, and we handle the issues of generally the youth. I think Nairobi will never remain the same. So we wish you all the best. And for your information, we have 3 MCAs. We have the Daraka being an MCA, former MCA. We have Lamo being a former MCA, and Vice Chair, of course, being the Secretary of the County Assemblies Forum by that time.
Thank you very much, Madam Vice Chair, Your Excellency, the Governor, and also under 1 minute, please.
Thank you. Very quickly. What you're doing. This, for me, is a dream come true. That you can question. So you must now call PSs on the 30%. You must also call heads of parastatals on the 30%. Let's give our young people that chance. So I'm very proud of what you're doing and the committee members. Thank you. I really must acknowledge the Senate. The Senate of Kenya is doing a great job supporting the evolution. You know, I've been a senator longer than I've been a governor. So I am always batting on your side. You have an assignment coming soon. Please do the right thing. As always, you know the assignment. You know the assignment coming. Help us as a country. Help us as a country. Finally,
I can assure you will set the best political environment in this South. That one we count it down.
60 out of 67. Finally, Chair, I just want to ask members of the Senate, as well as the people of Nairobi. I've been governor for now just 2 years. This county of Nairobi had gone into a free fall. Remember, we got NMS, which left us with pending bills of 16 billion. There was always violence in the assembly. You remember removal of speaker, mafiri-firi, all those things. Nairobi was always a war zone. There was even a police post in the assembly. These are the first 2 years of peace in Nairobi County. I ask for patience. We're going to make this the best city in Africa, Africa's capital. It will be clean. It will be a city of order, a city of dignity, a city of hope and opportunities. And for me to do that, I need the support of the Senate. So please shield us. Please fight from our corner. Please protect the counties. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Governor Nairobi City County. I just wanted to share with you this document. It came today to us from Kakamega County. And it's not, in fact, it is to your county secretary, the acting county secretary. Look at this document. Nice. The content also very good. Yours contents are good, but you need to do something nice and better, please, because this is Nairobi. It's not Kakamega. That's number two. We've asked for some documents for procurement. Kindly, please, when you give us those documents, make sure you liaise with your county secretary and give us something good. The contents are very good. Even representation, the way he presented documents are very good. He has been represented by very good people here, able, highly qualified people. That's also a plus. Your Excellency, Governor, I want to thank you for coming and your team. You have a very good team, experienced, highly experienced team. And you need to do better than Kakamega at least. So having said that,
Kakamega is my ancestral home.
Yeah, that's
my grandfather and grandmother from there. So I'm happy that Ferdinand Fernandez is doing good.
Governor, we got some documents from counties like Makueni, very good documents, and also programs. You have very good program, I know, but not documented here. Please, if you can add those ones also, we'll appreciate it. Then the other county of Trans Nzoia did very well, and also Kitui County. And we expect that kind of quality work from you. Having said that, let me thank my members, the media, and also your team. Asante sana, hoping inshallah everything goes well. Tunataka Nairobi County to be one of the best counties in Africa. Thank you very
The
much.
media normally come like this. Many.
Let me
Because
be
you
honest with you. Because you are here. That's why many of them are here. But they are my friends.
Because the president of the county is here.
Yes,
So
of
they
course, I
are
love
waiting
these
for you
guys.
and they are also waiting for the weekend.
Yes, asanteni sana. That is.
Watapona kila mtu.
Yeah. Asante sana, Governor. Thank you very much.
Chair. Sorry. I forgot to say. Sit down. I forgot to say.
Wait, before you say anything, you've just told me something. By the way,